All right. Look what we have here. TW, what's going on, bud?
Watch it. That's like a model stuff. One of the most interesting men in the whole world.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on, bud?
You tell me what's on your mind today.
Well, I'm thinking about them son of a bitches in law enforcement. I hate them all. I hate them all. I could do some pretty bad things to each and every one of them.
I feel you, man. Me too.
I told you about that time they pulled me over while I was walking in this town.
That's happened to me.
Actually, it did. I mean, all joking aside, they did try to get you when you was on your porch.
I was on my front porch and they wanted to see my identification. I was chilling out on my front porch. So I guess it's a police state we live in now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's this town.
Fucking Nazis.
Hey, like well, it's not new, but I'm getting out of retirement.
You have got to be the most sharp-dressed man. Woo! I think ZZ Top wrote that song about you, man.
Every girl's crazy about it.
Yeah.
With dirty socks on.
With dirty socks. You know what? You do not wear that jacket. That jacket wears you, dude.
It does, don't it?
Yep.
Look.
Oh man, easy, bud.
We got a new cat.
Yeah.
We're not going to let her in here tonight.
She's ferocious.
But so what are we? The making a murderer.
Yeah.
That's the hot topic. We're trying to get views.
Yeah, let's talk about that bullshit. While we're at it.
Well, here we go. Here, follow me up over here. I got something to show these people.
Okie dokie. Uh-oh. This is etched in stone. This is biblical, dude. Where's the burning bush at? Okay, let's hold up here. Let's get a good shot of that.
Man, what's the topic of today?
T.W. Blanken, After Midnight.
That's genius.
That is. Well, you thought of it, so.
Yeah, yeah. Look, just the... Oh, look at that. All right,
I'm telling you.
The topic for
even
today
the penmanship is artistic.
Is
making a murderer. So that means we're gonna fucking we're gonna go out and kill some people?
And now, hold on.
Sweet.
I probably can spell
plan a murder and start a religion.
You probably can't.
Yeah, he is kind of a simple fucking Avery.
Avery. Okay, now we've just now had a full lesson. That probably is the way Stephen Avery. I mean, I think he really is pretty dumb. But that saying that, he still deserves a fair trial. Like
everybody does, man.
Like we said, but I had to bring that out just to give us an air of professionalism.
Yeah.
But let's get on topic here.
People need to at least think that we know what we're doing.
What do you think about some of it? You ask me what do I think about certain things, and I'll tell you.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. On August 10th of this year, 2016, on the website therap.com, they had an article about Avery accusing his lawyers of botching his case. Now, I want to ask you, do you think he really believes that, or is he trying to kind of take steps towards getting himself a mistrial type thing?
I think, in retrospect of any case that's won or lost, that's a win or if you lost the case, in retrospect, you're always going to think that they could have done a better job.
Well, yeah, with anything, huh? Always room for improvement.
Anytime you lose,
that type of
even
thing.
If you win, there's because some of them's pretty close, But those lawyers, I think, they done a pretty good job. I mean.
Well, they certainly were fighting for him, weren't they? I mean, they've agreed to be on the documentary, for Christ's sakes.
Can I get that ashtray? Thank you. But no matter what happens there, even if he would have won, it wouldn't have been by much, and they wasn't going to let him win anyway. No matter who was running.
Oh, you mean he wasn't coming off?
No,
he wasn't getting off of that. He wasn't.
Yeah.
There was no way he was going to be declared innocent or acquitted. I guess is what we're looking for.
At the time, you got to think that the firestorm wasn't there from the documentary. It was being made at that.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be a completely different. Now you got the whole United States behind this.
Well, yeah. Well, someone, you know what I mean, drew back the curtain, you know what I mean, like in The Wizard of Oz, and we saw what's going on.
Yeah, and what's funny, man, you talked about it. Half of these people that are up in arms about this Stephen Avery guy wouldn't give that guy the time of day if they was to see him out in the club or something, or sit beside him at the bar. It's just the end thing, like we're doing right now.
Right.
But I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm trying to get my views up on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, let me.
I probably would. I am that type of guy, and I probably would talk to him out
sure.
or something. But there's a lot of just jump on the bandwagon and stuff. But it is a good thing for him that he's got most of America behind him.
Well, I think there's two things that kind of are sad or whatever you want to say about this that are disturbing. Anyways, one, he's not the only one this has ever happened to. This is something that happens quite a bit that's not really revealed a lot. So there's lots of people that are probably in prison. Some of them may have been put to death already that don't need to be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Now, either way, I don't know for sure if he's innocent, guilty, whatever, but I'm saying there is for sure instances where they're locking people up, and that's their life, man. Do you really...
Yes.
Okay, and then the other thing is, all this publicity with him and everything put on him, someone died. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Teresa Halbach.
Yeah.
Halbach, whatever. She died, and now half people know Stephen Avery but don't know her name.
Her family's got to be.
And that is horrible. Horrible.
Her name, it's almost like it's just an afterthought of it, you know.
Yeah.
I do feel sorry for her for her family, you know.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the Stephen Avery case. It should be it should be the Teresa Halbach case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because so if they do find out he's innocent, then, you know what I mean, there's no closure for her family. They need to find her killer.
Stephen Avery's mother had a very interesting twist on the whole thing. And
oh, yeah?
Who knows? She could be right. I don't even think me and you discussed that.
I have no idea where you're going. What's up?
Hold on. I got something special for somebody out there that left a comment.
Okay.
My name, now it could have been, I don't know, one of our names is Junkie, but my name is Punky. So we're Junkie and Punky. I used to watch Punky Brewster.
Punky Brewster?
Yeah, but I just wanted to address him because we like that name.
Yeah. Well, there's always haters out there, but fuck them, you know what I mean? They ain't gonna bring me down.
But his mother said that who knows, she may not even be dead. They might have concocted this whole thing up to railroad him.
Like there's no murder?
Well, maybe she
like went to witness protection or something. I don't know.
Reason, and they said, let's just take this for.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get behind that.
I can't hardly either. I mean, that's just one of the. I mean, look at the family that can go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
sharpest tools in the shed. Anyway.
That almost seems a little bit disrespectful. If someone died, and you're gonna try and say that they're faking it or whatever.
I didn't do nothing wrong. But he. Just because I don't like the guy and I think he's an idiot, pretty much, doesn't mean that he doesn't deserve a fair trial.
Yeah, like I said, everyone does.
And his nephew Brandon Dassey, he is released now, right?
Yes. To my knowledge, he is out.
Yeah, and that kid there, I feel probably more sorry for him than I do Avery.
Between the two, of course, yeah, because he's a kid. I mean, he had his life ahead of him. They took a big chunk of that away.
Yeah, and let's talk about when they keep saying something about he threw a cat in the fire or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what that's
about. We're talking about a cat. I'm not an animal person, but there's a huge difference in throwing a cat in the fire and killing somebody. They're acting like that you could put those two parallel, you know. No, you can't.
No.
You can't. I mean,
both are deplorable, but a human is... to me, a human life is much more precious than a cat's life because I'm a human. It's my species, you know what I mean? So
but they use that to their advantage. But when you talk about morality and talk about that piece of shit Kratz, now all of a sudden morals don't go hand in hand.
Well,
when he
yeah.
wants to do his shitty bullshit. He says, well, he's not on trial. Well, his morality should have been.
You're talking about the prosecutor, Kratz. Ken Kratz, yeah.
You know, where he got busted for some scandal, I think, with prostitutes.
Yeah, he was like sexually harassing, I think it may have been jurors or defendants or something, or staff members. I don't know. He was sexually harassing people.
So do you see what I'm saying here? The double standards. It's okay to talk about Stephen Avery throwing a cat in the fire for morality purposes, but let's not. We don't.
But not Ken Kratz playing grab ass with every skirt that passes by.
What kind of guy that he is, and that he will bend and twist the law to suit him.
Well, that's the other thing. For me personally, I think if you're a prosecutor or if you're in that type of position, you need to be held at a higher standard of morality, I guess, if you want to use that term, than other people. You're sitting in judgment of other people. That means you have to have your house in order, and you better be behaving at a higher level. Yeah. And once you stoop below that level, your credibility's out. It's gone, in my opinion. It's criminal.
And the people that's hopefully we get some viewers and stuff. But I mean, I've been serious on this. I would love to see the Constitution or law. It's actually in the Constitution that prosecutors and judges can't be held liable. We should get that. We should make that a mission to get that changed.
Oh, absolutely, because nobody should be above the law. If one person's held under a law, everyone should be.
Yeah.
All men are created equal. Is that right?
Yeah,
and that goes both ways.
That's the way it should be.
Well, that's our creed, or that's what we're saying. So we need to hold ourselves accountable to that.
There's a guy. I want y'all to remember this name. There's a guy named Glenn Rogers.
Glenn Rogers.
Do you know who that is?
I do not know who Glenn Rogers is.
Glenn Rogers was a serial killer. And I know everyone out there, their mouths are going to drop open and say, everybody knows O.J. done that. Well, I watched this documentary, and it's very substantial evidence that's, a lot of circumstantial, but that shows that Glenn Rogers could have, very well been the murderer of Nicole Simpson. He was hanging out with them. Her best friend, I can't remember her name, but introduced them, brought him into the circle, and he was spotted there.
Oh, wait, so this serial killer knew the Simpsons and Ron Goldman, and all that?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he knew him, but he
definitely knew the Simpsons.
That circle, and there was he drove a white painting truck at the time, and there was a painting truck spotted on that road that night. So, my point to all this is these big trials, it's high profile. People get them wrong.
Well, because they're being tried in a court of public opinion, not the court of law.
Yeah. So
that's not good.
That, and you know what? It's more than what meets the eye there. I mean, everyone that does think that Stephen Avery's guilty, I mean, you really got to look and see, like we discussed on the first one. He's not going to want all these tests done by Kathleen Zellner.
Yeah.
She's going to bring it all out. She is going to.
Yeah, she seems like she's a pretty serious lady. You know what I mean?
I got faith in this woman, and what was her the other guy's names? Dean Strang was, and what was the other guy's name? Let me see, something Budding.
Jerome Budding.
Jerome Budding. They were. You could tell that those were reputable. I mean, they were good lawyers.
Well, they appeared to be for sure.
And they couldn't win because the public opinion, the public persona of Stephen Avery at the time was all this mountain of evidence. But now this Kathleen Zellner has got, how many years later is this?
Well, 2006, so 10 years.
Yeah.
So do you think what the trial was? Actually, Stephen Avery wasn't necessarily tried for his crime, but his character was.
Yeah,
they put his character on trial then.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And that's what the prosecution did.
It's different now, though. See.
Yeah, the way this whole thing is just screwy. So the prosecution did that on purpose. Yeah. They put his character on trial instead of the facts and him on trial to win the case, which it worked out for the prosecutor.
I tell you what would be the perfect thing to do, and it would save face for the state of Wisconsin. It would help Stephen Avery out. They need to let him out of jail and start from scratch. complete scratch and
just retrial. You think he needs a reinvestigation?
I'm talking about right from the get-go of the murder and everything.
Yeah.
You know, all the evidence, they got to start. That's what needs to happen.
I understand. Well, that's probably what will happen if he gets, declared a mistrial and they got to retry it. But it's really hard to reinvestigate something 10 years later.
They're going to find out that Ryan guy. Like Dr. Phil and Nancy Grace, I seen them go at it, and Nancy Grace, I can't.
They were against each other?
I can't stand it to hear that bitch.
Yeah, I'm not really a Nancy Grace fan either. Fuck you, Nancy Grace.
Dr. Phil's
bitch.
Kind of like us. He says that nobody should be above the law, and that these people deserve a fair trial.
You're right. I agree.
I think that Dr. Phil actually thinks that Stephen Avery did it. And if you look at everything, it is kind of hard to believe that all of this stuff, there has to be more people involved than just the county, all the way up to the state highway patrol and everything. There has to be people involved.
So it's a gigantic conspiracy.
Yeah. It's almost kind of crazy to think that all of those people are involved.
Well, here's the thing. In the United States, the country that I live in, and the country that the system that I was led to believe is in place, certainly isn't. And I think it's deplorable, and there's just no room and no excuse for this situation to even exist.
There isn't, and that's the whole tragedy of it all. They've done screwed it up so bad now to where we may never know the truth.
and it goes back. That goes back to Teresa. Yeah, that's horrible because that's fucked it all. She's really the one that she's getting the worst of it, in my opinion. She done lost her life, and now all this shit's coming up for her memory is being marred and fucked with, and her family. It's horrible.
The only thing I could say to her family, I know there's no good in any of this, but maybe it's a sacrifice to make this system better, because I think something good will come out of this.
Well, I hope so. If it makes the system better, then goddamn right.
Because they've had to endure probably more pain than anybody should ever have to with anything.
Oh man, I can't even imagine. I feel real bad for them.
There's changes in the judicial system.
There certainly needs to be in Wisconsin, anyways.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you think this case is bigger than the OJ? I think it's right up there.
It's right up there. Netflix has certainly made it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that when it's all said and done, the judicial system, something will change, and it'll probably be called the Teresa,
whatever act or something. Yeah, I hope something does. I hope there is something good that does come out of this.
There needs to be a board.
Either way,
that can investigate with the non-biased opinion, the people up in.
Yeah, there should be cops for cops and cops for lawyers and all that. Watchdog group.
What's that called in the law enforcement, where they're the
internal affairs?
Internal affairs.
Yeah.
It be that for the judge.
Well, you know what? It's like it's informal, but we kind of have that in place with the press. But it's an informal way, you know what I mean?
And the Supreme Court and stuff.
Yeah.
But punishments, though.
Well, yeah, that needs to change.
The whole problem.
There needs to be stakes, like, hey, you can't be playing.
The whole problem.
Yeah, because they're playing fast and loose with people's civil rights, and I ain't cool with it.
I'm not either, because it's ruining people's lives.
Yeah.
But anyway. Back to this, I think we're going to wrap it up. But hey, don't forget, buddy, my name's Punky, not Junkie. And TW, after midnight, we was talking about making a murder. Well, anything you want to add?
There's a couple things I want to talk about here. So we decided that him saying that his original trial lawyers, Dean and Jerome, didn't do a very good job. That was just him setting it up to try and get a mistrial or whatnot. He probably doesn't seriously believe that. But I want to know, we talked about whether there should be some punishments or whatever for the lawyers and everything. Cool. Yeah. Let's see. What do you think about with Dassey? Do you think his original defense attorney who was working with that guy should be jailed, right?
Punished.
Yeah, I think so too.
No, mark my words, read my lips. That guy, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should run and hide. And you actually should be in prison. I don't know who you are. You're a bald son of a bitch in my eyes. That right there was oh my gosh. That right there was despicable. What he done to that kid.
That's beyond.
I can't help you.
Oh, it's disgusting, dude. And he clearly, he was running for political office, right?
That's what he was doing. I'm not seeing any picking up the
his investigator. Yeah.
I thought he was working for. I didn't. When I was really listening, I found out that was his lawyer. I was shocked.
Yeah, it was his lawyer's prosecutor. But his lawyer, the only reason I forget the guy's name. The only reason I wish I knew his name. But the only reason he took the job because he was trying to run for political office and wanted the exposure.
Yeah.
That is it. He blatantly used the poor kid.
But that's
it's disgusting.
You're supposed to represent your client zealously. I mean.
No, he misrepresented him zealously.
Yeah, he did.
All right.
But anyhow.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I got.
I think it's all going to come out that Stephen Avery, I don't even know if he's guilty or not, but it should just be thrown out and start, for Teresa's sake.
First, Teresa's sake. Yeah, something needs to happen.
Not just swept under the thing, said, well, it's just such a botched thing. They can get to the truth because the truth is there right in front of them. Ryan is the murderer.
Well, hopefully it's not 10 years too late to where, you know what I mean?
Who knows? I feel
one more shot of the board here. Look how beautiful that is.
Punky, get it right.
I got you, Punky.
Woo!
All right, man. So that's a wrap?
Yep. Peace out.
See you later, TW.